Hello everyone, hope you're well. The weekend's here. No West Ham till Monday night, of course, but the weekend is here. Hopefully we can all enjoy the last one before the big day. Anyway, before we get on to the main topic, which is a bit about David Moyes, the January transfer window, spending cash, getting cash to spend. Before we get on to that, last night West Ham United confirmed that Michail Antonio has signed a new contract at West Ham, so he's now staying with us. His contract was due to expire this summer, but it's now been extended by 2 years until the summer of 2023. Well deserved for Michail, absolutely well deserved. He's been a huge part in us staying up last season. Ridiculous form post-lockdown. He started this season in decent nick before sustaining his injury. A 2-year contract, I'm really happy with that actually. I'm delighted with it, because when the rumours of him getting a new deal, there was sort of talk that he was wanting a 4-year contract, so it would sort of bring him up to retirement at the club. That scared me a little bit, because I thought he probably deserved that, but it would have been bad business for West Ham. So a 2-year contract, all good. I think it's good for all parties. Michail gets a bit of security. West Ham secure the services of one of their most important players, but we also protect ourselves, and this is why I was a little bit wary of the 4-year thing, because of his injuries. And it's not just the current one he's in, the current hamstring problem he's got. He's had hamstring problems pretty much since he's come here. What's he going to be like in 2 years' time when he's 33 years old? We don't know, but he deserves it. And I'm pleased to see us showing a bit of loyalty to the player, but also, like I said, protecting the club's interests. So if he doesn't really recover, or he just gets more and more injury prone, a 2-year contract is something we can sustain. Anyway, the main topic is something similar to what Gonzo's been speaking about today and previously in the week, which is about David Moyes spending money, signing players and stuff. Because before the Crystal Palace game during the week, David Moyes confirmed that he wanted Eze. This is his words, this isn't a rumour, this is what David Moyes has stated, that we wanted him, but we couldn't get him. We didn't have any money. We had no money to spend, so we had to sort of not pursue him, and then we sold Dean Ghana in order to get the funds for us to go and buy players. I don't like that. I don't like it. Not so much the players in particular, because I would have preferred Eze over Ben Ram in the summer. There's videos saying that, so I can't change my mind because we've gone and signed Ben Ram and pretend I didn't want Eze. I think Eze could go on and become a better player. I think he's more suited to the way David Moyes plays football as well. And the fact that Moyes has been a bit reluctant to put Ben Ram in at the start would suggest that maybe Moyes would have preferred Eze too. But anyway, doesn't really matter. It's not so much the Eze thing. It's more about the principle that Moyes wanted someone in the summer and wasn't able to go get him because of lack of funds, lack of backing. Now, I'm not suggesting he gets a blank cheque. I'm not suggesting David Sullivan gets his cheque out, signs it, says, there you go, David Moyes, you write on there what you want to spend. Because we know that's not feasible. However, we've got an opportunity this season. This season's got that vibe of 15-16 about it. There's an opportunity to break in to at least the Europa League spots. There is going to be someone there. Arsenal's not getting there, let's face it, right? So that's one of the Sky Sports top 6 gone. Someone's getting in there. You might look at it right now and think Leicester, probably Southampton, but we would be a contender. We would definitely be in the top 4 teams that would get into that top 6. And it could come down to who does the best business in January. It might not, but it might do. Those other clubs might be looking at this thinking, hang on, we've got an opportunity here. We back our manager. We're getting one player, just one player, gets into his starting 11 every week. It will make a huge difference. The proof's in the pudding. All we have to do is look at the January of this year when we signed Souček and Bowen and what difference they both made. They came in, went into the starting 11, and that had a massive part to play in us staying up. The outlay of 40 million to get both of those players in has been more than recouped by staying in the Premier League. Now, it's a bit more difficult this year because it looks like we're going to stay in the Premier League. We're not going to get relegated. So therefore, for the club to spend money and get players in, they're probably not going to get it back. We'd have to climb the table by 5 or 6 positions in order for West Ham to get the transfer fee back in terms of prize money. So that's not going to happen. However, what you could do is spend money and, as Gonzo alluded to, show ambition, show backing the manager, because David Moyes is still only got a contract till the summer, so let's get him tied down. My personal opinion on Moyes, blah blah blah, I don't like managers in their final year of their contract. I hate it. I think there's a lack of clarity about it. Now, we can all expect Moyes to get a new contract, But I almost think West Ham's playing a little bit of a dangerous game themselves in a way. Do I think Moyes is happy at West Ham? Yes. Do I think he'll go? No. However, with only 6 months to go in his contract, and his stock in football and in the Premier League has only risen since the season started again, would another club look at David Moyes? I think so. I think he would. I think they might look at him. If he was to become a free agent tomorrow, he'd get the next Premier League club that came up for it, Sheffield United, for example. I think they'd go for David Moyes. So his stock has definitely risen. We need to tie the manager down, and we need to allow him to plan beyond this season. That starts in January. Whether we sign a player or we're simply just scouting and planning for the summer, doesn't matter. We need to start planning for the future. But this season in particular, I think there's an opportunity to get into that top 6. Now, not everybody likes Europa League football. Not everybody wants European football. But it does open up doors to other players. The other players will look at us and say, well, I don't really want Cody. You've got no European football on the table to offer. We saw it in the summer. Players turned us down in the summer. Carl Takar, okay, he wanted Champions League football. That's not what we're going to go get. But we had Europa League football on offer. It would allow us, we'd have a bigger pool of players to pick from in the summer going forward. Yes, financially, it doesn't really add anything to the club. There's not more money coming in. We've just heard the chairman a couple of months ago complaining about spending £50,000 to play a cup game at Goodison Park. So he's not going to be happy playing the Europa League. But we've got to show ambition. We've also got to justify this stadium move. I know if people are going to say, get over it. That's not my point here. My point is, we moved in order to go to what they called the next level. That is top 10 consistently. That's a cup run. That is Europa League football. And if we can get that, the owners almost load their gun with a bullet and say, actually, we've delivered Europa League football. David Moyes delivered, but we've backed Moyes. We've provided him with the tools to go get European football at West Ham United at the London Stadium. Therefore, we have moved forward as a football club. And they'd be justified. They'd be correct in saying that. Does it justify the whole stadium move? No. Does it make the stadium move successful overnight? No. But does it mean that they've taken us to the next level? For one season, yes. It's then about how being consistent going forward, doing it again and again and again. That is what it is. However, it's the start of something. I spoke last night about how Decrements is potentially not signing a new contract because he wants to win trophies. Now, we're not going to win the trophies that Declan wants to win. But if we did qualify for the Europa League, if we did win the FA Cup, Declan might be a bit inclined to give us one more year at least. In the summer, would that decision for Declan be harder? I think so, because of the type of person he is. Thomas Soucek himself has basically hinted that he will want to leave one day. He said, I'm happy at West Ham for now, without saying it as direct as that. But he basically alluded to, one day I might want to go play for a better club. And like I said, I've got no problem with that. That's the types of players we want to sign. Players with ambition. But eventually you've got to go on and chase that ambition with those players. Because you don't want to be a revolving door all the time. You don't want to be a stepping stone every single season. We've seen clubs do it. We saw Southampton producing umpteen players through their academy, just getting it ripped out of them. Those players. If they had kept them, what would they have achieved? Don't know. We were the same when we had Cole, Ferdinand, Lampard. We produced those players. Lost them all. You've got to be in a position where actually we start buying players like Soucek when they come in and they say, well, no, I'm happy here because what I want to do, I can achieve here. We're not at that stage yet. But we can get there. And it starts with spending money in January, getting just one player. It's not much. One player that David Moyes would put into a starting 11. Rule of thumb. I know form stuff comes into it, but rule of thumb, gets a player. Is Josh King that player? No, I don't think he is. I think he would become a squad player. I don't rate him, but I think while Moyes does, I don't think Moyes rates him that much in order to start him in his strongest 11. Because yes, he might start ahead of Allaire, but would he start ahead of Michail Antonio? No, he wouldn't. So let's see what Moyes wants, because he will definitely want to upgrade that squad. There's no doubt about it. Every manager does. He might be happy with what he's got, but we can make him happier. And in January, we've got an opportunity here. And this board, sort of bottled it a little bit. Under Allardyce, we were sitting fourth at Christmas, and we just went on a downward spiral. We all know how that ended. We ended up in mid-table, but we went into the January transfer window in with a shout of Champions League football. The last year Upton Park with Slaven Bilic went into the January transfer window with a shout of Champions League football. We failed to recruit purposefully in that window. We sort of tick things over. Eberechi, that's who we signed. That's not a club showing ambition. That's a club packing out the squad, getting in quantity and not quality. This January we've got an opportunity, I think. I'm going to start rambling now. I do think we've got an opportunity. And if we were to stand still and not really back the manager properly, while other clubs around us perhaps do that, and then come the end of the season, we finish 8th or 9th. And while that's still a good season, that is still a good season. If you offered me that at this August, I would have said, fantastic. That would be wonderful, thank you. However, today, it would still be a good position. There'd be a little bit of me disappointed that we didn't capitalise on such a good start to the season. We've had such a really good start, and it opens up doors, opens up opportunity for us. And I think you've got to give the manager the best chance to take advantage of that opportunity. I think other clubs will. I'm not convinced we will be one of them. And that's a little bit sad, actually. Anyway, before I go, we're giving away one of these. It's a commentary chart sheet, right? So this is what they used for West Ham against Upton Park, Man United, the last game at Upton Park. This is what they used in the commentary sheet. So it's got all the stats. So we'll pick a player. Dimitri Payet, 35-yard free kick at Old Trafford. Contract February, 5.5 years. Marseille last year. PFA shortlist and team of the year. This is what they use when they're sat there on the Sky Sports. They've got all their little pointers, all their little stats. It's all handwritten as well. This isn't like written and photocopied. This is handwritten. It's worth 50 quid this. If you want to get involved, check out the video. It's going to come on your screen in a minute. The link's in the description to the video as well. Check it out. It's a few minutes long. In that, I basically promote Patreon a lot as well. So apologies for that. But a massive thank you to those who have joined Patreon since doing that video. Myself and Gonzo massively appreciate it. He messaged me yesterday about it to say, like, I guess how humbled he/we are. And I know it wasn't a text for putting on a video, but I'm just putting it out there because it's important. It's important to us. Thank you for your support. All the links in the description that you need. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Myself and Gonzo will be back tonight doing the preview for the Chelsea game. See you then.